Cassie and I have been dating for 5 months. Only lately has it occurred to me I can't recall a single time we've spent time together during the day. We met on Hinge. Her profile picture had her crouched outside a stone church after what looked like a night out drinking. Her skin was porcelain white, and she had sharp, cat-like eyes that seemed to stare straight through the screen. I'd started hundreds of chats that went nowhere, so when Cassie asked if I wanted to go to dinner, I said yes without hesitation. We met at a bar and quickly acquainted ourselves with the liquor menu. Her smile widened with each glass of champagne. I ordered crab ragout. She ordered a large ribeye. Cassie was a self-certified carnivore and had red meat for almost every meal. The steak was cooked on the rare side of medium rare, and when she sawed into it, fat spots of blood sweated onto her plate. It spread until the whole plate was pink. She dragged a forkful of mashed potato through it like she was painting. Then she licked each tine clean, individually. It made me queasy to watch. I'd even asked her if she wanted me to send it back to the kitchen for a few more minutes on the grill, but she told me not to worry. She preferred it that way. After that first dinner, there were many more as we tried different restaurants around the city. Her shift work was from morning to evening, and she seemed to work every day, so we'd meet at night, mostly out of convenience. Looking back, I can't remember her ever talking about what she actually does at work. Some nights, when we were out late, she'd stay at mine. I always sleep with the blinds open as I like waking to the sunlight. But when Cassie stayed, I'd wake up in the dark with my 6 o'clock alarm clock screaming at me from the side table. The blinds would be cinched together with safety pins. When I asked her about it, she just scolded me. "Do you have any idea how much it hurts?" Where the sun touched her, a thin strip down her left cheek, the skin was red like sunburn. Outside of that, it was almost perfect. I never noticed how strange things were until she moved in with me. It wasn't a permanent change. Cassie's apartment was built below ground level, and after days of heavy rainwater started seeping through the concrete flooring, the whole building smelled like wet cardboard. I did the gentlemanly thing and offered her a place to stay while the damages were repaired. I thought she'd jump at the chance. A trial run for what I hoped would end with us living together. But she just looked nervous, like she was searching for an excuse. All she did was politely shake her head with a "mm-hmm." There were no drastic changes at first. As always, I'd leave for work while Cassie was still stretched out in bed, and I'd come home at night to find her cooking steak, sausages, or pork chops. She usually had me do the shopping, but occasionally she'd make late-night food runs to the grocery store and come back with a bag of something like ground beef. I never really thought about what she did while I wasn't in the apartment. I trusted her enough to know she wasn't going to rob me or snoop through my stuff. It wasn't until I remembered the cameras. I'd set them up years ago for my cat, Oscar, so I could record him climbing the cat tower and post a montage of the clips on TikTok. Oscar had suddenly run away a few months back, but the cameras were still there. I just hadn't checked them. So, on my lunch break, I logged into the app and tried connecting to the bedroom cam. It still worked, and there she was, Cassie, dead asleep. I remember her specifically telling me how busy she was going to be at work that day, due to a new project she'd been saddled with. I skimmed the footage back, and for hours, she lay so still I couldn't tell if she was breathing. The bedroom cam caught a glimpse of the street, and I could see cars passing by, so I knew it wasn't frozen. Cassie hadn't mentioned anything about taking a day off. With how much she worked, She'd made it sound like the whole place would collapse without her. When I got home, I asked how her day was, and all I got was, fine. Throughout the rest of the week, I kept checking the cameras, just here and there, to see if she ever left the apartment, or even got out of bed. But no, she literally never left. Every day, she didn't move until 5 p.m., just as it was getting dark. She'd pull back the covers, stiffly rise, and then head to the kitchen to start cooking our dinner. She isn't freeloading. She has been paying for all my groceries, as a thank you for letting her crash here. Maybe she's rich. Maybe she's won the lottery. Maybe she just doesn't trust me enough yet to explain. Last night, I accidentally grabbed a plant-based burger patty instead of the real thing. She sniffed it once, then slid the plate back toward me, saying she wasn't hungry. Hours later, I woke to the sound of the mattress shifting, and then the fridge door sucking open. After a moment, the door clicked shut, and I heard the slow crinkle of plastic. That's when I realized she was elbow deep in the bin, digging for the leftover meat I'd thrown away days ago. She hasn't mentioned a word of this to me. Whenever I try to ask her about it, she shifts the conversation to a completely different topic. All I want to ask her is why I can smell the scraps of meat she missed in the trash, and why does the thought of sucking them clean makes my mouth water.